Let's see. Happy Friday, everyone. Someone please comment that you guys can hear us just okay. We're coming to you from Rapid City, from Nate's office. Pro Roofing Exteriors. No, Pro Exteriors.
Pro Exteriors.
Pro Exteriors. We want to do it Pro Roofing. Anyway, guys, if you can hear us, we're not sure about speed of the internet here. Hopefully everything is okay. We don't have lag time. Very special episode today. I have a couple stories for you guys. But first thing first, since we have a guest here, Nate, I'm going to announce it right over from the beginning. Looks like we already have like 34 people. I'm going to give away one of my custom Roofing Insights custom cut knives so you guys can see it. This knife is super, super sharp. If you guys seen those knives, we'll create some mess here. Anyway, here's how you get a knife today. The most awkward question for Nate, the most interesting question gets the knife. Amber, my assistant, will pick up a winner. So ask Nate something, I don't know, make him uncomfortable. If you make Nate uncomfortable today, you're going to get a knife. We're going to announce, Amber will pick a winner later today. So here's what we're going to, guys, discuss today. It's all good here. People say loud and clear. Great. So Nate here and myself, we have a story. We go way back. Nate was one of the first students in a roofing school. He also was one of the first people who came to Roofing Insights, to Storm Group, to my business, when I announced that I'm going to start teaching people. And I did. Do you remember that you were in the first class, right?
Yeah, we met in the shop in the back of Storm Group.
So the very first Roofing Insights class was the best class up to date. It was free class. I had no idea how many people comment. I did not have a website at the time. I know that I just wanted to teach. And I'm like, you know what? Demand was so big. So many people were direct messaging me at the time, like, Dmitry, can you share this? Can we come to you? Can we do this? And at that time, I have about 5 people just flew in randomly to Minneapolis and asked me to do company tour with them. I show them my CRM, my ads, my marketing budget, pretty much everything. And then people were asking more and more. I'm like, I'm just going to invite everybody so they don't come randomly. I'm just going to dedicate 2 days and I'll do a 2-day class. I came up with, a couple presentations. I was shocked when I walked in my warehouse. I did not have enough chairs. It was like 35, 40 people. I'm like, where are these people? We had people from Philadelphia, from South Dakota, from California. Francisco came. I was humbled and blown away because people did not tell me they're coming. They just showed up, and the rest is history. But Nate and myself, we always stayed in touch. He enrolled in all my programs. He came to all our events. He changed his business in many, many ways. And first thing today, what I would like to open up with, we did a full company tour today. We shot a lot of content for him. If you're in our school and you're in the premium level, at top level, it's our promise to you. We're going to come to your business. We will feature you at Roofing Insights. We will do content for your business. That's exactly what we did today. Full day of filming. We went a couple jobs. We did interview. But one thing that absolutely struck me today is how Nate described his transition from being on the labor side to business ownership side. And this is, hard topic for so many of you. And I wanted to bring value, guys, to you. Let's switch to this camera. So let's discuss it. I want Nate to tell all of you guys the story, how he transitioned from being installer to a business owner, because I know so many of you are afraid to go in business, to rent your first warehouse, to hire your first employee. So Nate, share your story. How did you get into business ownership?
Well, I initially started out working for my dad's roofing company when I was probably 10 or 12 years old. And so I had done that for many, many years. And I'd always had the desire and the dream to own my own business. I didn't know at that time what it was going to be, but, I knew I wanted to be a business owner and be an entrepreneur. So after working for him for a while, I decided to start my own company, and that kind of led us to where we are today. Like I said, I started out installing, so I always had the mindset of an installer, and it was just recently, the last couple of years, when I came across Dimitri's stuff, where I really started to change my mindset, and that was not only the biggest change, but probably one of the hardest changes to just have that switch in mindset to go from labor where you're really only focusing on one thing. You're focusing on, nailing the siding on or putting that shingle down or whatever, to thinking about it like a business and trying to build a business that will one day run without me being so involved. And it's just a complete and total change in mindset. So that was the biggest challenge and the hardest thing for me to do, was to change how I looked at things.
Let me ask you this. What's easier, working on the field or working in an office running a business? Let's switch to this one really quick.
I guess physically working out in the field is harder. I mean, it's not physically hard to be in an office, but like I said in the interview, being physically exhausted from, working hard physically, being tired out that way, it feels really good. It feels like you accomplished something. You can go home and rest and, recuperate from that. Whereas the other side of it, being tired and exhausted and worn out from all of the stuff that goes along with running a business in the office, the cash flow management, dealing with subs, dealing with materials, customers, all that stuff, the mental exhaustion and tiredness is a totally different thing than the physical exhaustion. It's not as easy to recover from. You can't just lay on the couch and recover from, your brain being exhausted and worn out. So it's a totally different type of being worn out and being tired. So just as far as physical goes, yeah, I mean, being out on the roof is physically harder, but I mean, if you just want to look at it overall, which one is harder, I'd rather go nail shingles on any day.
Wow. We have a question from Leah Schweppe here. Who is the most attractive woman in the world?
That would be my wife. She's wanting the knife, but that didn't make me uncomfortable. So.
All right. Why do you have the camera sideways? What do you guys beating? I don't know. I think it's easier for your attention when the cameras switch. That's how I like to watch, and we just like to play a little bit. I like two different angles. Steven Schneider says, physically roofed for 16 years, office for 4, office is harder. 100%, yep. Steven. And the thing about it is, like, I come from installer background too. I always tell people I was pushed in the office because I was good at office work. So people around with me, when 100 people tell you, hey, you're good at marketing, you're good at selling jobs, sometimes you have to start listening to other people. Maybe it's God's trying to tell you something, that you're good at creating jobs. Or not everybody who's in office went there with the wrong motives to make more money or to exploit people. But people who, like, employees often think that way, like, oh, my boss, all he wants is just, we have this mentality often that bosses makes money on the backs of laborers, which is not true. Like, mental toughness is like the absolutely key in running any business. If you don't have it, you're gonna fail. Where, your body will adapt almost at anything on the field, but your brain will not always adapt at anything. Like, you don't see people falling on the jobs, right? Like, people don't die because they work too hard. I would argue that's actually, the harder you work, the better you're going to be. Yep. But in office, if you have too much stress and you have too much, sooner or later you will collapse mentally. And I mean, I've seen so many guys, as a matter of fact, so many guys in sales and business owners, take their lives, go, drink too much or get into drugs because they don't know how to deal with that mental pain, I call it. So be careful with that. Be careful when you judge business owners. We have a question here. Architectural Sheet Metal 101 says, do you have a strategies for keeping guys accountable to performance production? How do you keep your guys accountable to performance production?
Well, you just got to stay on top of them. I mean, you got to not only obviously do walkarounds and stuff with them when the job is done, but just drop in on them occasionally and drop in on them unexpected. Obviously, if you tell them I'm going to stop by at 2:00, you might see a different job site than if you stop by at 11 o'clock unexpectedly. So just, keep your guys on your toes, drop by. Also, we encourage all of our guys to take pictures on company cam. We want them to take at least a couple of pictures every day when they leave for the day. That way we can kind of keep track of progress and how things are coming along. So just stay on top of them and make them accountable.
I would say also, I would add to that, like, you have to have a high standard of yourself, and you have to micromanage people in the beginning.
Yeah.
So when you hire people, your first crew, they're probably going to do a good job on the first job. Yeah. But then on the second job,
that's the honeymoon period.
Yeah. Honeymoon period. And I love it. I've never heard it before. It's a honeymoon period. So they're trying to impress you. They're trying to, convince you that you can trust them. My thing is, you want, like, for the first couple weeks, couple months, maybe stay on top of them, do as much work as possible, drop in often. And then when you build that trust and you know what to expect, you can trust them. And also read the characters. Like I often say, and people don't agree with it, but people don't change. Like, the person is either clean or not clean. He either has attention to details or not. There's a few things that you can change, the few things you can't. So if you feel like this person, just a mess, if his car is always a mess, if his, workplace always a mess, guess what? His job site's always going to be a mess. So maybe that's going to be your number one area of training with that person. Make sure you keep, training him importance of cleaning, because he'll never going to change. That's not his personality. And, like he said, drop in often. Don't tell people when you're going to come. Recently, I watched a movie about firefighters, like family movie, and there's firefighter came in. It's John Cena plays in it. Anyway, so he said, I'm coming Monday to your office because I want to promote you, whatever. And then he showed up on Sunday, and they have this birthday party. He's like, you said you're going to be on Monday. Well, it's not a surprise visit if you know when I'm coming. Yep. So the same thing. Your employees should not know when you come, when you leave. You should be running your business as, you can show up anytime. Play Jesus a little bit. Nobody knows where you're coming. So were you camera shy in the beginning? Were you camera shy in the beginning?
Oh, absolutely. I still am definitely camera shy. I'm one of the, shyest, quietest guys out there, but it's something that, I just kind of learned over months and years, that if you want to excel in anything in life, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. So I would absolutely much rather be behind the camera than in front of it at any given time. But, getting out of your comfort zone is how you're going to grow in every area of your life. So just do it. And I just stare at the camera and pretend that nobody's going to watch the video that I'm recording. And obviously they do later on, but pretend there's nobody there. So just do it.
And guys, I want to add to that. Everybody's camera shy. Every single person in the world, like, nobody was born in love to the camera. It's foreigner object. We're not used to it. You just have to go try. Like, my 12-year-old just did the first video, and she voiced over it. Like, she did a lot of drawings. Awesome. I'm going to drop it over the weekend. It's like 2-minute video, first video to the channel. I was blown away how good she was. But whether you're a kid or adult, like, I watch my kids, if you put a kid in front of the camera and tell them that you're filming them, they're not going to get comfortable. I mean, you can get used to it, and the more of it you do, the better you become. What we did today with Nate, this guy impressed me. He already have a YouTube channel. He tried his best last year creating content, but today he was a rock star. We're an efficient team. We have professional videographer. Mm-hmm. We did very fast. How many pieces of content we did today? Like 20, 30? We were following 2 job sites. A homeowner was doing final inspection with Nate. We filmed that. We did a lot of little pieces. But if you have good system, anybody out there can learn how to do 2-3 quality videos per day. And then, honestly, you dedicate 1 day a week for those 2-3 pieces, and then upload them every other day. So film Monday, and now you have Wednesday and Friday content. You're done. Your business will always have something fresh coming, and homeowners will see how active you are, and they're going to appreciate it. No John Cena movie is great. Well, this one was funny. It's actually, it's for the kids. It was good. It was good. He said, I can't see him. I don't know who you cannot see. Who makes the best shingle underlayment, and why for standard installations? What underlayments you use?
We just use the Rhino synthetic underlayment is what we generally use. We use Malarkey shingles, and they have a underlayment themselves that they manufacture, but I don't like it. And I've told the rep I don't like it. It's actually got kind of a felt on top. And so it kind of functions like Velcro. As soon as the shingles hit it, they stick to it. You can't slide them around very easily to install it properly. So we just use the Rhino synthetic underlayment.
Yeah, most synthetics are so competitive now. Like if you go to IRE, you're going to see 30, 40 underlayments with very similar ATCM. Well, they all pass ATCM standards, so they're all fine underlayments. Some of them cheaper, some of them more expensive. I would recommend check with your manufacturers. Like for example, if OC requires extra item for enhanced warranty, use OC. No, like Pro Armor, I believe. The same with the JF, felt buster or something. Wherever you have to use, they're all very similar. Leah agreed with me that Playing with Fire, great movie. Yes, it was Playing with Fire. Man. Guys, I'm going to remind, for those of you who join us later, the best question for Nate, the question that will make him most uncomfortable today, going to get Katka knife from Roofing Insights with our logo. Dima Sobovoy asks, how many Google reviews are you going to add by the end of 2021? What's your goal?
Honestly, my goal is super lofty. I think I looked around at the bigger roofing companies in my area that had Google reviews. I think the most any of them had was like 120. So I would like to at least match or exceed what they have. I mean, I'd like to have the most reviews in my area. So that's my goal. It's pretty lofty. I don't know if I'll hit it, but that's what I'd like to do.
When we arrived, we got here last night. And this morning, before we left hotel, we were staying in downtown about 10 minutes from here. I put in my browser roofing, which is just basic Google search. And guess what? His Google ad was number one. Like number one, just came in, Pro Exteriors. And then he also came on Maps. I believe you came number 7, 8. So Dima, maybe you can help this guy to get higher in the Maps. So on the Maps, he was number 7. On organic search, you were all the way down. So, but we were 10 miles away.
Yeah, and we just started working on that too. So
perfect. Great question. Quentin Super is asking, how did Nate transition from focusing on the labor side of roofing to evolving and growing his business?
Well, like I said, it's just a change in mindset. You just have to determine that you're going to do it, and you have to start investing in that. Just like if you're installing, you're going to go invest in the proper tools and, tool bags and nice hammer and nail gun and all that stuff. Well, when you're focusing more on the business, you don't have so many physical tools, but your tool is your mind. So, start reading books, start associating yourself like I did with Dimitri around people that help you to focus more on the business side of things. And I mean, I guess just prepare for a big challenge because it's quite a change in mindset, but it's definitely doable.
Absolutely. Jason Moreland says, we actually talked in the interview about it. My wife started working with me. Any tips for working with the spouse? Please help, lol. I did not let my wife be a part of any of my businesses. I've had like over 5 businesses, and I always choose marriage over business. And that's exactly what I heard from Nate today.
Yeah, my wife at one time tried to help a little bit with some phone calls and stuff. And, there's people that can work together. We're just not one of them. So, we kind of decided we either have to work together or we have to stay married, and I'd rather stay married. So I don't really have any advice for you other than either it's going to work or it's not, but it didn't work for me. So,
well, the challenge is this. Think about your business and trying to leave business at the business place. Yep. And separate work-life balance. Think about this. Let's say you have major audit, major issue, maybe theft, maybe whatever. So often you come home, you're exhausted. It's on your mind. You're trying to work it out. Guess what? If both of you are in the problem, now you come from the business and you're both thinking about it. My wife always tells me, like, Dimitri, how in the world can you keep your sanity? How can you be so calm when you come home? Because you have to shut it out. And in my personal experience, women can't do it like men do. Like when I come home, I can have sex with my wife. I can play with my kids. I can have fire at work, it's not gonna, well, it will affect you to the point, but we have that switch, and we can, keep work-related stuff and that stress and keep our families away from it. Now, when you work with your wife and you're both in it, she's gonna worry about it way too much. My wife, I don't know about yours, but my wife always worry about financials, always worry about risk. And if you're running low on cash, that's financial stress is number one reason for families for divorces in the country. And imagine that financial stress not only at home but at business affecting your relationships. I can't imagine it. Like, I'm like, nope. And plus, I don't want my wife to see everything I buy for business. She would be, I mean, like, I'm okay taking the risk. I'm okay going buying equipment, but explaining to your wife why you need another trailer or why you need maybe another employee, like, it can be tough. So you're a risk taker, she is not, and you cannot put it on her. And then if you fail, I've seen couples trying to do it, and then there's always blame, who to blame for certain failures in business. I would say if you can do it by yourself, do it by yourself. But I also have seen couples who is killing it. So it really depends on your relationships. Anything else to add, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, I would echo that as well. You need to leave work at work. I tell my wife all the time that, coming home is home is my sanctuary. That's my escape from work. So I can't imagine not only having myself bring work home, but, my spouse bringing work home as well. There'd just be no break from it. I mean, that's where I go to get away from work. So you don't want to bring it home with you.
Absolutely. Brand Siemens says you need to gap those companies by 50 reviews.
I like it.
Doable?
Yep. Maybe. We'll see.
Can we get a commitment?
We're working on it.
Architectural sheet metal. By the way, love the name of the channel, Architectural Sheet Metal 101. Yeah. How much should you sub out versus in-house? You can sub out 100%, or you can do it in-house 100%. It really depends on the market. I think the way the industry is going and all the regulations, and eventually government will make us all have as many employees as possible. It's impossible now with all the work comp regulations and the rules, because it's so expensive. We have to pass costs to our homeowners. Unless everybody else is going to switch, I don't see anybody. Like, we're entrepreneurs, okay? If you're an entrepreneur, you always want to create the best value for the homeowner. So let's say you have 100 companies in your town, and they all charge, $10,000 for a typical job. Well, for you to do it in-house, you will have to add cost, which is 50% on your labor. Now you have to charge $15,000. You're not competitive. It's not the best offer to the homeowner. It's not the smartest decision. So it's a suicidal business decision right now in many markets to switch to in-house labor, because your price will go up. As a business owner, your nature is always to save money, to be the most efficient, and to have inside crews is just, unfortunately, it's not the most efficient way to run a business. I mean, think about it. Like, if you, my crew, and you want to work for me, you can buy your own insurance for, let's say, $3,000-$4,000 a year, or I can make you my employee and pay $50,000 to freaking work company to pay you $100K a year. What would you rather do? What would I rather do? It makes no sense to middleman to get all this money, and in reality, it's not like you're going to get more protected if you work for me direct. I mean, we have a claim, someone will pay, whatever. You get the idea. But in the future, I think we're all going to start switching to in-house. Do you have how many in-house employees do you have?
Really, only one. Is just kind of a repair guy that can do a little bit of everything. I would say sub out as much as you're comfortable with. I kind of like the idea of having, at least one or two guys, or maybe a small crew in-house, because then you've always got a backup. If your sub crew goes stupid on you and, you need to get a job done in a pinch, you've got somebody to do it for you. But I don't, like Dimitri said, I mean, financially, I don't know how you could go all in-house at this point.
Sam Biswell asking, what roofing school training have you implemented? Good question. I want to hear it too.
Yeah, well, I mean, a little bit of everything. I've got my my oldest daughter now, because my office lady just quit yesterday. So she's my oldest is learning QuickBooks. And I have her go on the roofing school and start studying that. But I mean, I think up until we got super busy, a few months ago, I think I had watched just about all of the content. I signed up for the free trial for Xactimate and started implementing some of that stuff. So doing a little bit of everything.
I mean, me and Nate would go way back. I would say out of everybody in the school, we have about 5 to 10% of students who absolutely maximize it. Like they call me weekly. Nate is one of them. We embrace calling. We beg you, please schedule that call. Call us for anything. I don't care if you call us to cry about. Like Nate called me on the hard days. Like, Dmitry, I need help. I'm stressed. I don't know what to do about this. And sometimes talking about problems with someone, I mean, it helps. I don't know how much it helped him, but I know that I always was available there. I mean, just like last week, he did not have a call scheduled. He just texted me. He's like, do you have time to talk to today? And within 3 hours, I called him back. Yep. He had decision to make about his employee, and several times actually told him to fire employee in the past or hire employee. When you were buying or renting this, did you consult with me about getting? I remember he called.
I think I did.
He called me. He's like, I'm about to rent this warehouse. I'm afraid it's going to add to my overhead. Should I do it? And a year later, we're here filming here, and he's like, this was the best decision ever. I mean, you need someone to bounce ideas. Sometimes you need someone to tell you that you're on the right path. You already know the answer. You're already making the decision. You just need to hear it from someone else that you're not making a mistake. And I would love to be that person for you guys. Jordan, that's been asking, what do you utilize the whiteboard for? What kind of information do you keep on there?
I mean, the one behind me, I don't even know what's stuck there right now. I don't think it's anything that's super important, but I mean, I've got one. We just built another office over here to the side because we're kind of outgrowing this one, and I got a big whiteboard in there. That's probably the one that Jordan's talking about. But I mean, I mainly just use it.
He has this magnets. I absolutely love their commercial grade magnets all over his boards. On a tiny piece of papers, they're holding by this big magnets that you can exercise to take on and off.
Yeah.
Sorry,
no, I mainly just use the whiteboard just kind of for brainstorming. If you want to jot an idea down real quick, I know you can do it. There's apps on your phone. You can go on the computer, but I like to physically see it. So, if I can't jot it down on a sticky note or something, I'll just put it on the whiteboard, and mostly just for brainstorming and things like that.
Steven Schneider asking, what is your business biggest weakness and strength?
Oh, that's tough. I think the biggest weakness is, at this point, I am, still my business. It's not really separated from me. So I'll just talk about my biggest strength and my biggest weakness. I think my biggest strength is just my resilience. I've had a lot of struggles and still continue to go through them. And, although I, get down on myself or whatever and need to talk to Dmitry or my wife or whoever, I'm just not going to quit. I'm determined. If I take, 2 steps back, I'm just going to keep walking forward. So that's probably my biggest strength is just resilience. Me personally, my biggest weakness is consistency. I can, change the way I'm eating. I can start working out. I can, implement things in my business, and I can be the best of everything for a short period of time. But to do that consistently day in and day out is really a struggle for me to keep up that consistency. So that's definitely my biggest weakness.
Guys, I'm going to get back to questions real quick. I want to share screen and make quick announcement. Hold on. For the next couple of weeks, we're going to be traveling a lot. And for those of you who did not attend any of our classes yet, I want to share this with you. So we're going to be in Nashville, March 25th. If you go to roofingclass.com, you see all the schedule. You can register for all the classes. They're absolutely free for your businesses. If you're already in a school, highly recommend, obviously roofing-school.com. But these are the cities we're going to be at. The very cool one here in Philadelphia, March 31st. So if you come to Philadelphia, very next day on April 1st, we're going to be at DreamWorks Exteriors. We have Steve Snyder here, Charlie Anderson. We're going to be doing 2021 shingle guide. You guys can come. Your vote counts. We're going to test shingles again like we've done it before. We're going to rank them all. Last year, Malarkey beat everyone. Then we have Atlas, OC. If we have question or if we cannot agree on certain things, we're just going to do the vote. So if we have 50 roofers in the room and 10 reps from manufacturers, it's 60 people who's going to be voting on some decisions. Should we weight the shingle? Should we look at the granulose? How are we going to judge that nailing zone? What's important, what's not important? You guys can be part of that little history at Roofing Insights for 2021 shingle guide. All manufacturers and all roofers are invited. I don't care what your preferences. I don't care if you're JF Master Elite, if you're CertainTeed Master, whatever, shingler, or if you're OC Platinum contractor. If you install TAMCO and you swear by them and you want to support TAMCO, think about it as Olympic Games, and you get to cheer for your product and you get to call us out if you don't agree with us. We're going to have cameras. We're going to go live during it, and DreamWorks Exterior is going to host everything, all our classes, and April 1st. April 1st is not here, but we will announce on this website as well. We will be providing food during this events. We're going to be in Dallas April 7th, San Antonio April 8th, Oklahoma City 14th. Some of the cities already have quite a few people registered, so it's a first come, first serve. Hotels only giving us limited spacing. Some of them are 30, 40 people because you only can put one person per table. So if we only have 40 spots, it's first 40 people who will reserve their spots will attend Lincoln, Nebraska, April 15, Portland 21st, and then Seattle 22nd. We've never done classes in most of the cities, so super excited about that. I just want to make sure you guys know about cities and when we're going to be there. Let's get back to questions. Maurice Harrison's asking, do you do more retail or insurance? If retail, do you do high volume and low margins? I know where that question's coming from. That's a roofing economics video. How do you answer that?
What we do in retail versus insurance just depends on our weather here. We do get a fair number of hailstorms. Actually, this last roofing season in 20, we got 3 hailstorms. So, in 20 and probably most of 21, the vast majority of our work will be insurance. If we come into a year or two where we don't have a lot of hail, then, the vast majority of it will be retail. So we don't really chase one or the other or prefer one or the other necessarily. It's just kind of we try to roll with whatever comes, and that's determined by the weather.
Love it. Phil Noir Lover, I believe it's Mark, saying, hi, Roofing Insights, you're the best. Thank you so much for tuning in. If it's Mark, I don't remember the name. He was the person who called us, I believe last week, the homeowner who is looking to hire a contractor. And he asked us if we can back the contractor up. I actually called the contractor in Pennsylvania. Great guy. I went to the website, called him, and sure enough, owner-operator, the guy answered the phone. They have 4.8 star Google reviews. He's been doing it for like over 10 years. I felt confident immediately. I told him, listen, it's not a marketing call, sales call. I'll back you up wherever. I just want to make sure I understand how you run a business. The simple fact that he answered his phone call, he has good reviews, very knowledgeable, asking a few questions about quotes, how he does stuff, how much money he takes. If he doesn't do insurance, it's all retail. I've been doing it forever. Absolutely love a guy. And I told him if he ever wants to join directory, I would love to list a person like that, because that's exactly the kind of business owners we're looking for directory. If you're looking to join, we would welcome you. Leah Schweppe asking, how many Amazon boxes are delivered to our house daily for the business?
Well, that's kind of a trick question. I actually try to deliver all of them here to the office, so she doesn't know just how many Amazon boxes I'm getting. But sometimes I'll click the wrong delivery address and they get sent to the house. So whatever's going to the house, there's probably like 3 times as many coming here to the office. And that's another benefit to having an office, guys. You can ship your packages to your office and your wife doesn't know how much stuff you're buying. So
I do exactly the same. My wife, she recently told me if I'm gonna buy one more thing, it goes straight in the return. She asked me to install water softener, water filter, and I don't like that. I did not want to actually install it because I don't agree with her. I hate that filter. I hate the whole system. So I was procrastinating. She's like, until that stuff is done, if you get another dumbbell, kettlebell, anything comes to our house, it goes back to Amazon. So guess what? My very next purchase was shipped directly to the office. Sorry, baby. Hopefully you're not watching this. Dima Soboy is asking, are you able to turn down clients on your days off? Hard to do when starting out.
I guess I'm not sure what you mean by turn them down on your days off. Turn down clients.
Like if someone calls you on the weekend, are you gonna just say, no, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna answer?
Well, yeah, and I mean I've recently stopped giving out my cell phone number to clients just to prevent that sort of thing. I mean, we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I didn't do that in the beginning, to be honest. I took absolutely every phone call. I'll still reply to texts and emails and Facebook messages late at night or weekends, but I don't answer phone calls. But yeah, it's really hard to do in the beginning for sure.
Okay. Another question. You always working no matter what anyone says is to be the best. Cody says, absolutely agree. He also adds, we make our own schedule around customers' meetings. Yes, we do. What marketing is cheapest to start with? SEO, Google Ads, or Google Local Services? Jose Aguirre is asking.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, and I'm no marketing expert because we just started doing Google Ads this year. We just got a nice optimized website built last year, so I don't have a huge track record. But for me, the cheapest is just Facebook. You know, go on Facebook, start posting some consistent content, start shooting some live videos, and just spending a few bucks a day to boost them. Eventually, start running Facebook ads and things like that. But Facebook is absolutely the cheapest by far as of yet.
Nate is one of those people who took our advice and started a YouTube channel. And just like all of you guys, you're not going to grow it dramatically fast. I mean, it takes a long time to build 1,000 subscribers. Everybody's after subscribers, but I'm telling you, it's not about views, subscribers, or likes. It's about conversion and branding. What's your experience with the YouTube videos? What impact have you seen so far on a small YouTube channel in South Dakota? What did you do to your business?
I mean, honestly, I was really surprised with the YouTube. I put some videos up. I don't know. I probably got, 10 or 15 of them now. I haven't posted one in a while, but I was super surprised, even in our small market, the kind of engagement that we were getting. I've got one, I think that's called 15 things you need to know before you hire a contractor or something to that effect. And I mean, I'm still a couple of times a week getting notifications that somebody liked the video, somebody commented on it, getting new subscribers. So, I mean, with the very minimal effort that I've put into YouTube, I'm really shocked at the results and the engagement that I'm getting from it. I really didn't expect that to happen.
And it's pretty much free, guys. You have a phone. I mean, how much did it cost you? You have it cost you nothing to upload. It still blows my mind that YouTube is free. Facebook is free. I mean, if you hire a person like me to optimize, and by the way, I'm a YouTuber. I've been doing it for 4 years. 2 weeks ago, I hired a person, paid $2,000. Sean McConnell, you can look him up. I still finalize my strategies, like how often to post, hashtags, optimization. I want to be the best of the best on YouTube in my space. But when it comes, I remember what I did to my business, and today I do it for others. Like what we're doing actually here, we came in and we film a lot of videos. We're actually managing his YouTube channel. He was not posting in a while. And if you guys in our premium package in the school, it's our promise to you, within 6 months, we're going to attend every single premium student. We just scheduled 3 trips today. We travel every week. We absolutely love it. It blows my mind how much you can do in one day if you know what you're doing. What we did here today it would take him like 2-3 months. We have a backlog for his channel, which is, it's already there. He already gets results. I remember when I was showing at the doorsteps for my potential customers, they open the door and it's like, oh man, I've seen your videos. And a lot of you guys now showing up at appointments, we get messages all the time, and homeowners saying like, yeah, I watched some Russian guy, doing shingle comparisons, and that's why I like Malarkey or OC or Atlas. It blows my mind. It's the warmest appointment and confirmation for the homeowner you can get. Let's switch to this camera really quick. We have a couple of really good questions. Contractors book list. Love the channel name. Hey, what is the percentage of leads you buy in your company? I guess percentage versus like door knocking. You don't do any door knocking, right?
I don't do any door knocking, and if I'm understanding your question right, of buying leads where somebody calls a homeowner and schedules an appointment and then sells that appointment to you, I've never door knocked and never bought a single lead in my life.
Okay. Thank you, Filner. I really hope that directory takes off with you, but not just roofing. Will you allow like plumbers, electrician, and so on in directory? Absolutely. Plumbing is the next huge category. You're going to see it by the end of the year. We're going to have as many plumbers as roofers in directory. What we're trying to do is we're trying to absolutely maximize and perfect the process for roofers, because that's what we understand. Not only on the process of connection, but also how to find a good roofer, because we know the community. Like, we know roofers in so many cities. That's easy for us to filter them, to find that bad apple who might be questionable. Right now, I don't know how to find a good plumber like in Dallas, but I do have Roger Wakefield, who is #1 influencer in the plumbing world. He's going to help me to bring all of those relationships in the plumbing world to recommend them and sleep well at night. I don't want to just whole bunch of plumbers apply, let them in, and then filter them later because we get so many complaints. So we want to do it right. I mean, think about Amazon early on. Amazon started with books for a reason, because it was the hardest category to organize, because there's so many books, so many titles. But after Amazon was done with books, they were ready to do anything else. If you organize roofers, which is for me, king of all trades, it's the highest tickets, it's all the way at the top. But if you figure that out, gutters, plumbers, painters, drywall guys, those a little bit easier. Roofing is also the biggest tickets. I mean, HVAC guys right under them, because HVAC, you replace it as often, and average ticket's also very expensive. But roofing it's like buying a car. So once you figure out roofing, you can scale it to other trades and stuff. So I appreciate the shout out. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much for engaging. Great stuff. Thank you. Let's see. Mark Wolf. Thank you so much. I remember your name now. What's your 5 and 10-year plan? Do you have one?
I definitely don't have a 10-year plan at this point. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge planner, and maybe I should be. So I don't really have a written plan out. I just want to continue to grow the company, but grow it in a stable, sustainable way. I don't want to grow 100% or 50% overnight or year to year. If I can get 10% growth every year, I will just be happy as could be. So, I mean, ultimately my goal is to just hire more people and, implement more stuff and try to get myself out of the business a little bit and get it to kind of run on itself a little bit more. So that's my ultimate plan.
Mark says, great, you have a friend for life just because you call the contractor who's gonna do my roof. Mike Pease is asking, have you got any leads from Insights listing and or directory and familiar with your market there, South Dakota? Got caught in the worst fall snowstorm there ever while working a hailstorm, stranded in-house for over 2 days.
Yeah, that was probably the Atlas storm that just happened in, 2013 or 12 or something like that. But I actually haven't gotten any leads from Roofing Insights or directory yet. I know it's going to happen, but The way I look at it, just the ability to use that $20,000 guarantee that nobody else is offering, to be able to use that in your sales pitch, in my opinion, is benefit enough to sign up and just patiently wait for leads. I kind of always compare it to, Home Advisor, Better Business Bureau, in the sense that, they vet contractors, but, like I tell homeowners, there's nobody else out there that trusts their contractors enough that they're going to put their own money behind them. So that in and of itself is enough of a selling point to stick with directory until I do get some leads.
And I'll answer to that too. I mean, guys, we launched Directory as a website just in December. The simple fact that we already have tons of leads. And when I say tons, I really mean it. Like, there's a lot of contractors. You can, if you're a contractor watching who got leads, comment below. I would like to hear from you. But my team gets on a regular basis messages from contractors. Now we don't control the traffic, we don't know the traffic, and it's brand new. We have not optimized website yet. I mean, websites like Directory, they're massive. We know we're going to be in negative. We're not going to make any money for the first 2 years, but within the first 3 months we are overwhelmed how much traffic we are getting from all over the place from homeowners, and that's organic. I mean, if you grow a website like this organically and you're already connecting, I mean, we have a lot of ambassadors. We have a lot, like you guys are talking about us, and it's only going to grow, but we're not going to grow it organically. Angels List been building, Angels Hicks been building Angels List for 17 years. Back in the day, 16, 17 years ago, she was going door knocking, signing homeowners in Indianapolis, Indiana. Literally, that's how Angels List was started, door-to-door recommendation. And 16 years later, of course, they dominate the market. But do we have competition? Yes, but we also have a good head start. We have Roofing Insights, which dominates in the roofing space. We have Roger Wakefield, going to dominate in plumbing world. We have a lot of good marketers, but we're at the stage just finalizing basic first stage of the website. Then there's going to be second, third. Your early adapters. I mean, if homeowner comes to us now, later, and your listing is there, they're going to call. Another thing too, we start in December. It's the slowest season. Like, it's, nobody is getting a lot of calls now. No platforms, not even Home Advisor or Angels List. Wait until summer will hit. I mean, what we do takes a little time, and I built all my businesses on the same principle. I did not try to build Roofing Insights it took me 3 years before I monetized Roofing Insights. I was doing for free, producing a lot of content. Now that content is working for us and generates tons of results. If you go and type in roofing or roofing products, roofing shingles on Google or YouTube, you're going to see my face and my results, my articles, my studies, my shingle guides. You're going to see all of that. But it was based on 3 years. The same with the Angels List, the same with the Home Advisor. They've been producing articles for years, and now homeowners are finding those articles and calling them. Guess what? We're hiring another copywriter now. We have 6 full-time employees. We have 4 part-time employees. That's a team of 10 people already. By the end of the year, we're going to have 25 people working on the team. So we're growing fast, and you're going to like it, guys. Contractors book list. The contractors book list created due to Home and Angels that become a scam. Demetria was the one helped me out getting out of Home Advisor. I follow you from the day one on our channel. All right. Biggest hurdle of 2019 during COVID. Leah Schweppe asking.
Well, I think you probably mean 2020 during COVID, but we didn't see a whole lot of effects from COVID. I mean, we didn't have to shut down or anything. South Dakota was super open when it came to restrictions from COVID. So I guess probably the biggest thing that did affect us here that we really didn't have any control over was just material shortages. There was plants and factories that were shutting down, and, it got pretty hard to find shingles and siding, and windows are still crazy long lead times. There's still issues with windows where we'll get a window and we don't get the screen for it for 2 months or something. So the biggest thing that affected us was just material shortages and unreliability in shipping and delivery and things like that.
Rado is asking, when do you have a review on some flat roof products? Well, first of all, we need to have a snow to be gone to even get on roofs. I would love to do it. Maybe my co-host Brand Siemens will review one. Honestly, my problem with some product reviews is just not enough time in a day. I still did not finalize the deal on my roofing business, so I'm involved there. I'm doing a lot of things to transition the sale of the company. Hopefully, by the end of the month, it'll be done. So, between directory, roofing insight, selling my business, I was overwhelmed with traveling almost every week, doing content for students. I'm trying to deliver, and product reviews is something that I put a little bit on the back burner. But also because it's a winter time and I don't have access to actual projects, not in Minnesota. But if anyone out there, maybe commercial installer, maybe you specialize in flat roofs, I would love to come to you. Maybe one of our installers, one of our companies in our directory or just in our network wants to invite Roofing Insights and review Duralast or some EPDM or TPO products. We would love to do that. So you can be featured on the channel, not only to feature your company, showcase your company, but also to show your knowledge and your expertise in certain products, because I'm not an expert in everything. I do know a lot about EPDM and I do know a lot about Duralast. As a matter of fact, the first job I ever installed with my hands was EPDM. It was like 7 to 8 years ago. 27 squares done in 2 days. Love the project. But I just don't have a lot of projects going on, and I don't call myself as a flat roof expert. What's the difference between $20,000 guarantee and liability insurance? I don't know. You can, I guess, use it as a liability insurance. $20,000 guarantee. It's a great tool to sell. Think about it as almost like like extra warranty you can sell. You just pitch to the homeowner, just, hey, if you buy this, from us, this extra product, and you don't have to pay extra for it. People love extra peace of mind. Liability insurance is liability insurance, but you can also look at it as extra insurance. You can sell like as an insurance policy. Like you guys might have watched video today about a roofer from Ozark who took $12,000 from the homeowner and ran away, and a year later, job is still not done. Well, if that would happen, from our recommendation, we would be paying homeowner the $12,000 check, and we would chase the contractor, hopefully get money from him. And if we never got our money back, homeowner still would be taken care of. We're gonna finish up. We have 55 minutes here, a couple more minutes. Justin is asking, how do you feel about door knocking? Is door knocking popular around here? Do you have a lot of door knockers?
It is. After a storm, there's all kinds of companies that'll door knock. I mean, I don't have any issue with it. The only reason I don't do it, it's just not my personality to go knock on somebody's door. And not only that, I personally wouldn't like, sitting at home with my family watching a movie or eating dinner, and I got somebody knocking on my door wanting to look at my roof and whatever. So it just doesn't fit my personality or my business. But I mean, I don't really have anything against the guys that do it. It's if that works for you, keep doing it.
I can't stand homeowners who ask for workers' comp. Abel, what's the problem with it? I don't have a problem. Listen, homeowner's always right. He can ask you for workers' comp. He can ask you for general liability insurance, for your license. What's wrong with it? I'm one of those people. If I go to the restaurant, I'm not gonna look for, their, how do you call it, like their passes on the walls necessarily, but I will look at the kitchen. And I walked away from restaurants if I saw some nasty stuff in the kitchen. I'm like, babe, we're not eating here. Homeowner can be picky. They have to be respectful, but I personally have no problem with homeowner asking for worker comps. As a matter of fact, when they do, it tells me that homeowner is usually your class A personality. He probably going to be a little bit harder to please, but he probably going to also have money, and he probably going to pay his bill on time at the end. He might give you a punch list, but he's doing his due diligence. And ask yourself this: if you have 5 roofers and one homeowner like that, and 3 of them hate this question about workers' comp and maybe piss them off, or maybe don't want to show it, or maybe don't have one, and you're the only one. Well, you just by loving questions like this, you're literally eliminating your homeowners. Like this guy right here, I watched him today on a punch list walk around the house with the homeowners on LP Smart Site. I mean, my videographer have installed some siding. I've installed some siding. This guy goes around. My videographer goes like, man, siding is tough. There's so many details. Like they were pointing things like I don't think they should be pointing, but this guy smile, bend backwards. I'm pretty sure they will be pleased. They were happy. Oh, yeah. I think you have to learn how to please everyone, and you will not please everyone. But if you try, you will filter your competition to the fullest. And sometimes you'll be the only one man standing, because at the end of the day, those guys who please the homeowners, they're going to be getting more jobs than guys who don't please homeowners. As simple as that. Anything to add, my friend?
No, I would say just figure out who your ideal customer is. I mean, if your ideal customer is that customer that does their research and wants to check the insurance to make sure it's legit and all that stuff, then great, provide that to them. If your ideal customer is somebody that just wants it done fast and cheap and doesn't want to think about it again, you're going to be competing on price, and you're going to be competing with, a lot of chuck in the truck contractors, but hey, you may not have to show your insurance certificate. So, there's ups and downs to both. Just figure out who your ideal customer is, and, direct all of your marketing and all of your efforts towards attracting more of them.
Well, Brent Simmons definitely won a knife. If you could be any animal in the world, what would you be and why?
Well, that's kind of tough, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a joke with my family. I used to, watch shows on whether Bigfoot was real or not. And so now they think that I'm just obsessed with Bigfoot and, think that he exists. He might exist. I don't know. But, so it's kind of a joke now. I've got like 10 Bigfoot shirts in my drawer that my wife and kids have bought me. And so I guess if Bigfoot is an animal and he's real, I would probably be him, just because everybody thinks I'm obsessed with him.
Great answer. I like this one. Dima, so talk more about involving your kids in your business. Why, how, and where. So he has a daughter that answers phone calls. And actually does already QuickBooks, does Job Nimbus and stuff like that. She's 16. I'm all about it. I think our kids are like sponges. Yeah. They know way more than you think they know. I think it's good to involve kids. I think it's very good to give them some tasks and let them earn some money early on. Like I've involved my kids in the trade shows. Kids are introverts, but you pay them, tell them 20, 30 bucks and tell them pass some flyers, do something for the business. I've paid my kids 4 or 5 years ago to make YouTube videos with me, and they loved it. And your kids want to help you and wants to be involved. Now, you cannot push them, your business on them. You have to give them opportunity to pick their trade, but I think it's great. How is it with your daughter, and does she like it? Any resistance, any pushback on bringing her here?
No, she absolutely loves it, and she asks all the time, when I need her and if she can do this or that. I mean, she's kind of filling in temporarily now, so every time she checks the company email and she sees a new resume or whatever, she'll be like, man, this is a bummer. I want to keep doing this. So, I mean, yeah, she really likes it and she's doing good at it. Your kids are probably smarter than you think they are. It's probably easier to teach a 16-year-old QuickBooks when they're kind of fresh and they don't really have a lot of knowledge in that area than it is to, take a 40-year-old and try and teach them QuickBooks. So, yeah, just involve your kids. It's, that real world education of seeing how a business runs is better than anything they're going to get sitting in a classroom.
By the way, we just created a brand new course in a roofing business school. QuickBooks for Dummies. I promise you, if you have 16-year-old and we have first 4 lessons, you put them on a course for a month. 1 month later, they will know it. Like my 11-year-old has amazing skills already when it comes to math, managing money. Like kids need to learn that early on. They're not going to learn it in school. You know it. Nobody's teaching it. Your business should be run by numbers. Numbers don't lie. I talk to my 8, 9, 10-year-olds just like I talk to billionaires. I teach them money. I teach them economics. And I think it's the greatest skill and lesson you can teach your kid. James P is asking, how do you know if you're gonna have a bad client that doesn't pay? What are the signs? Do you have many people who did not pay you?
No, not really. I mean, I can only think of one over the years that we had any issue getting payment from, and that was, honestly, some miscommunication on our end and not properly setting up expectations on what to expect when their project was completed. So no, we don't really, just because of our market here. I mean, we've got a lot of baby boomers that retire here. We've got an Air Force base here. So we've got a lot of veterans, a lot of, active duty military. So, I mean, overall, they're really just good people. And, you could probably almost do business on a handshake here. So it's just not something I've ever really encountered.
The only people I would really watch for are people who, in the beginning, trying to negotiate too much. Like you just go with your gut feeling. The only negative experience I've had in my career is usually people who flip homes, who usually you can tell they're stretching too thin. You kind of see the signs. If usually it will be like a remodeler who manages like 5-6 trades and just trying to stretch $1. Like I've met so many people, they want to do the best. Like for example, I have people who even when I was in the flooring business, they always wanted the highest quality floor, the highest quality materials, but they couldn't afford it. So you can see it in their eyes when they're like, how much is this? And you tell them, and but you read them, they have the shock price. They want it, but they can't. So they always trying to upgrade to the fullest and think they're going to be able to pay for it. And they might pay for the deposit and down payment, but later when it comes to final payment, they're like, hey, sorry, this happened, and can I pay you later? So for me, the worst of the worst always been flippers, people who rent a lot of houses. My videographer tells me to switch. People who flips a lot of homes, people who just trying to get a little bit more, and you can kind of feel that person does not have the money, but you trying to help. And also, if they're negotiated from the day one, especially on the big projects, like I remember getting like really big siding jobs, like those remodelings, and if they barely could afford $28,000 siding job, it's a bad sign, because if you have rotted plywood, if you have bad decking, if you have rotted wall, that's another $4 or $5K. They just barely scratched $28K. How are they going to come up with the extra 4 or 5? So be careful with those big remodeling jobs with people who just trying to live the life they cannot afford, and those are pretty easy to spot. So. All right, we're finishing up here. Just gonna read a couple more comments. Jason Moreland says, "Got to fire the wife."
Like
Got it. You figured it out. That's
they'll
how
work
it is.
Cheaper, and they'll talk back less. So
yes,
you got it.
Love it. Brent says it's all credit and debits, but it's hard to understand until you are in the real world. Where did you get your contracts?
From Roofing Insights.
From Roofing Insights. Sam, if you need your contracts, we'll hook you up. Just reach out and we'll take care of it. All right, guys, we are done here. If you have any more questions, drop them below. I'm gonna be driving for another 9-10 hours, going back to Minneapolis today. Not gonna spend the night in South Dakota. Hopefully we'll make it just fine. But I will be answering questions on this thread. We have a lot of content coming with this guy. If you want to invite Roofing Insights to you, just like we come here to Nate today, hit me up, sign up for the school, engage with us. I always say this, there's nothing that a teacher can teach, but there's everything student can learn. Meaning, you can go to the best school, you can go to Harvard, and you can sit on the bench, sit in the classroom, and walk out there and never learn a thing and be the biggest loser in life. Or you can be self-educated and find little pieces from different people and become self-made billionaires. So there's nothing that I can teach. There's everything you can learn. I'm here to show you the way, to teach you what works, what doesn't work in the small markets like South Dakota and big markets like Minneapolis or Dallas. I'll show you the way of the best of the best. There's no secret. I don't believe in selling secrets, teaching secrets. I believe that you have to be conservative, you have to work hard, and you have to put effort in. But you do need mentors. I would love to be your mentor. I would love to feature you on all the platforms that I have built over the years. Would like to earn your business and engage with you. Comment below any more questions. We'll be answering them for the rest of the day. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Help me out.